In a village so quiet you could hear a butterfly sneeze, lived a young woman named Amara. Now, Amara was lovely, but in her mind, she was just one vital accessory away from achieving legendary status. She wasn't dreaming of jewels or silks. No, Amara was convinced her destiny was tied to having a posterior so magnificent, so grand it could be spotted from the next village over. She imagined herself walking through the market, not just turning heads, but causing a gentle, appreciative breeze with every step. One sweltering afternoon, while fanning herself with a large leaf, she overheard the village elders whispering about a river spirit. They said this spirit, old as the mountains, could grant a single wish to anyone brave enough to ask. Amara's eyes widened. This was it. This was her ticket to stardom. So, with more determination than she'd ever mustered for, say, weeding her garden, she marched down to the riverbank. She stood at the water's edge and called out, a little shakily at first, then with more conviction. Suddenly, the water began to churn and swirl, and a figure rose from the depths. It was the river spirit, shimmering and translucent, looking profoundly, cosmically bored. It had watery eyebrows that drifted and swirled independently of each other. Yes, the spirit sighed, its voice like stones rolling at the bottom of a stream. You've disturbed my nap. This had better be good. Amara, trying to look poised, declared, Oh, great and powerful river spirit. I come to you with a humble yet profound request. I wish for a bountiful figure. A showstopper, a backside that would make the moon itself feel inadequate. The spirit blinked its watery eyes slowly. You want to... what now? You're asking me, a timeless entity of elemental power, to perform a cosmic butt lift? It swirled a watery finger and thought. Humans. Always wanting the strangest things. It looked Amara up and down. Fine, but be warned. Wishes have a way of giving you exactly what you ask for, and rarely what you actually want. With a shrug that sent ripples across the river, the spirit flicked its wrist. One cosmic BBL, coming right up. A wave of shimmering energy washed over Amara, and then, the spirit sank back into the water, leaving only silence. Amara felt different. Heavier. She turned to walk back to the village, and that's when she realized the scale of the change. She didn't walk, she wobbled. Each step was a delicate negotiation with gravity. Her new posterior wasn't just big, it was an event. It was its own area code. She felt a strange sense of pride mixed with a growing sense of alarm. Her entrance into the village square was less of a graceful return, and more of a seismic event. The ground seemed to tremble slightly with her arrival. The usual market chatter died down, replaced by a wave of dropped jaws and wide eyes. People didn't just look, they stared. It wasn't the how lovely admiration she dreamed of. It was more of a whoa, what celestial body has entered our atmosphere? Kind of awe. Old Man Hemlock, who was known for his steady hand, dropped an entire basket of mangoes, which rolled away in every direction. Amara tried to carry on as normal. She went to the well to fetch water, a task she'd done 1,000 times. She gracefully, or so she hoped, bent over to pick up a large clay pot, but her new center of gravity had other plans. As she stood up, her backside bumped the pot, launching it through the air like a catapult. It sailed over the baker's stall and landed squarely in the village duck pond with a spectacular splash, startling the ducks into a frantic, quacking frenzy. Amara stood there, frozen, her face burning with embarrassment. Daily life became a series of comical disasters. Her small, cozy hut was now an obstacle course. She couldn't get through her own doorway without turning sideways and performing a complex, multi-point shuffle. One morning, she misjudged the angle and got completely stuck. She was wedged in her own doorway for a solid hour, like a cork in a bottle, until a few bemused farmers managed to push her through from behind. Sitting down was a whole new adventure. She had to back up to a chair from several feet away, judging the distance like a ship docking in a harbor. The village children, however, found her new form endlessly entertaining. Whenever she sat on the grass to rest, they would sneak up and use her as a bouncy castle, giggling as they bounced off her pillowy behind. At first, she tried to shoo them away, but eventually, she just sighed in defeat. Her dream of being a graceful dancer at the village festivals was now a public safety concern. At the next harvest celebration, she decided to try. She swayed to the music, feeling the rhythm, but her movements created a powerful ripple effect. She spun a little too enthusiastically and knocked over a table laden with pies, sending a cascade of berry and pumpkin filling across the dance floor. The village chief slipped on a patch of blueberry and slid headfirst into the drum kit. The festival came to a screeching, sticky halt. The ultimate humiliation came during the annual village boat race. Amara was tasked with cheering from the riverbank. She found a nice, flat rock to sit on, waving her banner with gusto. But as she leaned forward to cheer for her friend's boat, she lost her balance. She tipped forward, and then, due to her unique anatomical anchor, she rolled. Slowly at first, then gaining momentum, she rolled down the grassy bank and right into the river. She didn't just splash. She displaced a significant volume of water. The resulting wave was like a miniature tsunami. It swamped the lead boat, capsized 3 others, and sent the judges' floating platform drifting downstream. Amara bobbed in the water, her voluminous posterior acting as a personal flotation device, as the entire village stared in stunned silence. She had single-handedly ruined the biggest event of the year. That was the last straw. Soaked, humiliated, and smelling faintly of river moss, Amara waddled back to the riverbank, her every step a squelchy declaration of defeat. She was tired of being a public spectacle, a danger to pottery, and a human wrecking ball. "Okay, you were right," she yelled at the silent water, her voice cracking. "This is ridiculous. I can't chase a chicken without causing a minor earthquake. I can't sit down without needing a structural engineer. Take it back, please." The water swirled and the river spirit reappeared, its watery face trying and failing to hide a smirk. "Having fun?" it asked, its voice laced with amusement. "Learned your lesson, have we? That true beauty isn't about having a caboose the size of a small hut. That maybe, just maybe, being able to fit through your own door is a blessing." Amara nodded miserably, water dripping from her hair. "Yes," she whispered. "I've learned my lesson. I just want to be me again. The me who could walk without wobbling and dance without causing a natural disaster." The spirit's expression softened. "Very well." With another casual flick of its watery wrist, a shimmering wave washed over Amara once more. She felt a sudden lightness, a sense of release. She looked down. She was back. She was her old self. She wiggled her hips. She could move freely. She took a step. It was firm, stable, and wonderfully normal. A huge grin spread across her face. "Thank you," she shouted to the spirit. "Don't mention it." The spirit's voice echoed as it sank beneath the surface. "And try to appreciate the architecture you were born with next time." Amara walked back to her village. She didn't wobble. She strode. The walk had never felt so good. She felt light, she felt free. And she was very, very glad that she could finally sit down and just sit. When she passed the market, she saw Old Man Hemlock arranging a new pile of mangoes. He looked up, gave her a small knowing nod, and went back to his work. Amara smiled. She was no longer a showstopper, and that was the most beautiful feeling in the world. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more.